Hey everyone, Jill Chacha here from Well, That's Interesting, and I am absolutely thrilled to tell you about Spotify for podcasters. I use it, I love it, and it all started by downloading the free Spotify for Podcasters app, which has all the tools you need in one place to record and edit your masterpiece of a podcast. Spotify for Podcasters also distributes your show to all major platforms, so when you hit publish, your episodes will stream not only on Spotify, but I'm talking about the Apples, the Googles, Stitcher, Good Pods, the other ones. You get the idea. And you can monetize your podcast with no minimum listenership required. You could also set up monthly subscriptions and record ads just like this one. So what are you waiting for? Download Spotify for Podcasters today and start changing the world. Oh, and please, stay interesting. Welcome back to Well, That's Interesting, the What in the Holy Hell is Going On edition. Yeah, a nod. That's a nod.
I'm sorry. I thought I couldn't hear you, but I hear your wonderful voice now.
Great. It's going well already. Fantastic. Today is episode 111, Mountain of Garbage, Spontaneously Combusts. Yes. And Shitcoins May Save the World. That's right.
Shitcoins may save the world. You haven't heard a title like that before, people. Straight here from that is everything interesting that Jill Chacha provides.
That's right. That is I, Jill Chacha, and I am with just an all-around amazing human being, my friend, and I'm basically using her for her accent. I'm here with Rebecca.
I am always here for you to utilize my accent. Jill, you have no idea how excited I am to be on your podcast. This is so amazing. And I'm a little bit nervous and scared about all of the fun facts that you are going to give me because listeners, I'm coming in cold, just like you.
That's right. That's the premise of the show. Rebecca and all guests come in cold, learning everything in real time, just like you. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the flock. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, into this literal garbage fire of an episode, I've got a fascinating and literal uplifting update. On a previous episode 107, we need to talk about these two birds for a minute. In the first half of that show, we talked about the frigate, a bird that can soar for weeks, actual weeks with no pit stop needed to rest. They can fly while totally asleep, using nothing but updrafts and cloud hopping. Yeah.
Wow, I can just about function on one coffee by 10 a.m. So that is some crazy shit.
I know. It's for like one example, one juvenile frigate chalked up 55,000 kilometers or a little over 34,000 miles in 185 days with only 4 days of rest. It's fucking bonkers. But my friends, another bird just broke the record for longest one-way migration without touching land. Get this, a bar-tailed gotwit. Don't know what it is really, but it's a creature that is a mere 15 inches in length, and it has been recorded flying 13,560 kilometers or a little over 8,400 miles between Alaska and Anson's Bay nonstop. Again, that's 8,435 miles in 11 days without touching the ground. 11 days in the air.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is wild.
It's just
quite literally.
So that's an update. And if you feel inadequate, which you should, don't worry, you're not alone. We're going to segue into today's two topics. You may have noticed recently, we humans have gotten ourselves into a dilly of a pickle. As Ned Flanders would put it, climate change is upon us and is affecting our world as we speak. We've approached this topic before in episode 081, checking in with the Earth. Girl, how you doing? We learned the following news. Greenland lost enough ice in the last 2 decades to cover the entire United States in 1.5 feet of water. So that's fun. Yeah. Your mouth is
That
wide
is
open.
fun. That is wild to me.
Yeah. The entire United States in a foot and a half, 1.5 feet of water. It's just, I can't. So things are heating up, my friends. And as you've noticed from the title of today's episode, we are now dealing with literal garbage fires. And if you happen to have listened to that episode, 081, you'll know that the people affected first and the most are those living in low and middle income countries, even though it's us first world countries causing the majority of the problem. But I digress. That'll be the first half of the show. Then after we talk about the garbage fire, I thought we could lighten the mood and talk about one man's ingenious way to help just a little bit. And in proper, well, that's interesting fashion, it involves poo. So.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about everything shit.
Yes.
So
we're
excited.
We are diving into the shit.
Woohoo.
It's going to be great. We're going to be covered. So this fella invented an eco-friendly toilet and an incentive for people to use it. And as such, this heartwarming, butt-warming story could not have come from anyone else but another member of the flock. I'm talking about Lauren. Lauren, just fucking stellar. She's been sending us articles left and right. Just thank you, Lauren, for kicking ass.
Big up, Lauren. Big up, Lauren.
Thank you for the article that led me down a poop chute. I just can't thank you enough. So let's begin by let's just throw ourselves into a situation. What do you say, Rebecca?
Yeah, can't wait. Can't
Awesome.
wait. Let's throw ourselves into everything that you have coming our way.
So with no context at all, I'd like to show you a video that was posted to Reddit and spread like wildfire around the internet, no pun intended. I will have screenshots on our social media stuff, so please come on by and take a look at the clusterfuck that I'm about to show Rebecca. I'm sharing my screen here, and if you would, in your finest, I was going to say in your finest British accent, which is just your voice.
I will make sure to do that.
Please just tell us what the hell is going on here. All right, here we go.
Wow. I can already see from the first couple of seconds from the clip that just looks wild. So listeners, there is a huge wildfire, and it seems like it's covering a large, quite a small town actually, and people are videoing it, and it just looks absolutely insane. And you know, looking at that from an outsider, that looks super scary. Wow.
Yeah. It's taking up like the entire screen of this. This person's like, I guess they're shooting it with their phone, and it's like, it's a good 60% of the screen. It's just wild. It just takes up. It looks like it's just a huge compass of space, and it looks as though that people are videoing from like a motorway or roads, and there seems to be a lot of pedestrians there, which is super worrying. That is a really good point. We're going to get into that because. Yeah, there's a lot of civilians just being helpless on the side of the road. So, my friends, may I introduce you to Balswa, a tiny area located in India that combusted back in April of this year. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You're probably wondering where in India, so don't worry. I've got you. Everyone, please imagine the subcontinent of India. All right, now point to the very top. Okay.
I'm pointing.
She's doing it. She's doing it. Now move your finger down a smidge and you'll hit the capital, New Delhi. Just north of New Delhi is Delhi. And just north of that is Balswa. These cities, this country, all of South Asia, had a brutal start to 2022. So, Rebecca, from the Al Jazeera article, hottest summer ever, many Indian states under severe heat wave. Please give us a taste. What's been happening here?
Yeah, absolutely. So, quote, millions of Indians have been struggling under severe heatwave conditions for days, and it is expected that the searing temperatures will continue for some time. Temperatures breached 45 degrees Celsius or 113 Fahrenheit in at least 9 Indian cities, reports said on Friday as the government scrambled to ensure power supply to them. Wow, that's super scary.
Yeah.
The main summers in India April, May, and June are always excruciatingly hot in most parts of the country before monsoon rains bring cooler temperatures. But the heat wave has arrived early and grown particularly intense in the past decade. End quote. Quote again, this is the first time I have seen such horrible weather in April. Usually we're prepared for this in May and onwards. End quote, said 30-year-old Somya Mari as she and her family firstly searched for cold drinks in New Delhi. That just seems like it just created, especially it being such a small town. Imagine how that population were affected by that.
Yes. Yeah. It's devastating. And it sounded lovely. Yeah. Thank you so much for reading.
Oh, you're welcome. No, I love it. But that's super sad. And
yeah. So my friends, wild. 100-degree plus weather for days was their reality, and the effects took a bizarre and raging turn. A section of tiny Baswa is a landfill, and it's fucking massive. According to ABC News, it's, quote, taller than a 17-story building and covers an area bigger than 50 American football fields, end quote.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Aniruddha Gasal, a science writer for the AP, noted that this massive landfill was planned for closure more than a decade ago, but still, more than 2,300 tons of garbage is still dumped here every day, because where the fuck else are you going to put it? So, my friends, when we say this heat wave was hot, this is how hot it got. Now, the literal tons of organic waste in this massive landfill had been doing what all organic waste does. It decays, naturally producing methane. Yes, that methane, the combustible gas CH4. So, Rebecca, please tell us what happened when the size and scope of this garbage met the size and scope of this heat wave and the hot air itself. And if you could, please tell us what the people who live in the area had to do, because, of course, people live next to this fucking landfill. So please, take it away.
So, quote, with high temperatures, this spontaneous combustion will take place. Quote, end quote, said Ravi Agarwal to ABC News. Ravi is the director of Toxics Link, a New Delhi-based advocacy group that focuses on waste management. Several fire engines rushed to the landfill on Tuesday to try and douse the fire. At night, the landfill resembled a burning mountain and it smouldered until early morning. On Wednesday morning, April the 28th, the thousands of people who live and work at the landfill had begun the dangerous process of trying to salvage garbage from the fire, end quote.
Yeah. So, my friends, good news. Studies like the one named, quote, a review on understanding explosions from methane air mixture have shown that when methane reaches a certain concentration, it may spontaneously explode in the presence of heat. And I've got more good news. July 2021 was the hottest month in recorded history, as documented and reported by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as NOAA. So, if there's a landfill near you and you put this information together, it's not looking great. No. And I can only end this segment of our show with a quote from Dr. Frederic Otto, senior lecturer in climate science at the Grantham Institute in Imperial College London. So that's she's dancing. You must know each other.
Yeah, we're basically, we're good friends. Dear Frederic Otto.
So she told
he's doing some crazy good stuff, though.
Yeah. She told ABC, quote, India's current heat wave had been made harder by climate change. Unless the world stops adding greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, such heat waves will become even more common, end quote. So she's right, my friends. And one man has heard the call. After the break, an eco-friendly toilet that turns your shit into currency. This story will certainly warm your heart. So stay tuned.
How was that? Oh. What? I didn't hear you. You're on mute.
The app just crashed.
Are you joking? Did it save?
Let's see.
We're the All Creatures Podcast. Each week, Angie and I explore and share amazing details about the many animals we share our world with.
Plus, Chris and I are both PhD scientists and educators. So we do the deep dives in the scientific research and then come back and share what we learn in a fun and casual way. We also speak with other scientists, animal experts, activists, and many other conservation enthusiasts from all over the planet.
So you can find the All Creatures Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello everyone, Stakuyi here.
And I'm Gabby.
And we are the hosts of History of Everything, a podcast which you can probably guess by the name is, well, it's about everything. Do you want to know why people thought potatoes were evil and would give you syphilis? Are you curious about all the stories of the terrible and stupid ways that people have kicked the bucket over the years? Do you want to hear tales about all of the different badasses of history and the lives that they had brought to life? Well, if so, then look no further. History of Everything is just the right podcast for you. It's available on Spotify, Pandora, and anywhere else that you get your podcast from. Join us for some fun and just see how weird and wacky history can be.
You son of a...
Did you know that Elvis once showed up to the White House high as a kite with a bunch of guns?
Did you know that Eleanor Roosevelt once had a romantic relationship with a lesbian reporter?
Hi, we're Stephanie.
And Tux.
From Beyond Reproach, a comedic history podcast where we talk about political scandals like how FDR's grandfather made the family fortune smuggling dope.
And messy government officials like President Johnson, who named his dick Jumbo and would wave it around at people on Capitol Hill.
Gross.
And we do it all while drinking period-appropriate historic cocktails, like JFK's favorite, the Lime Daiquiri.
We are not historians, we're just a couple of drunks who never shut up and love history. We hope you'll join us on Beyond Reproach for some big facts, good laughs, a little bit of swearing, a lot of drinking, and a real good time.
You can find Beyond Reproach wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And we're back. We are so back. And my friends, can you imagine just how many Americans would choose to poop in a particular type of toilet if the reward was free Starbucks?
I mean, I probably would. I love a free Starbucks. Who doesn't love a free Starbucks?
Yeah, who doesn't love a free fucking anything?
Yeah,
so,
well, very, very true, especially in this climate.
So I think we could not shit fast enough. And with this hypothetical in mind, let's head on over to the Ulsan National Institute of Science and Technology in South Korea. Unfortunately, there's no connection to the Ulsan twins. The Ulsan National Institute is something different. Now, on campus is an area called the Sawaldong Pavilion. And like most pavilions, it's a beautiful structure. This one is made of tempered glass, and it's surrounded by lush greenery. According to our source, a study called Exploring the Convergence of Environmental Technologies with Design and Art, Sawaldong is Chinese, which translates to, quote, a place to think about what is beyond, end quote. It's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous.
Beautiful. That sounds amazing.
Where else is a better place to work on a new type of toilet that can help save water, produce clean energy, use our shits, and you get money for using it? I mean, it's the perfect place.
It really is. Hey, question for the host. I was thinking about this in the break actually when I heard the word toilet. So I want to know, question for the host, what's the fanciest toilet that you have ever used? And that's really stored in your brain. Ever.
The fanciest toilet I've ever used. Oh, that's a good one. I've been in some terrible toilets.
Please tell me those.
Those are
quite
usually
literally.
Those are usually like at concerts, where it's like a porta-john. I don't know if they have those in merry old England, but it's like a portable toilet where it's just, it's basically a hole that you just shit in, and like it hasn't been cleaned in about 75 years, and that's you just hate yourself after using it.
I get that. And do you know what, for me, the worst toilet that I've ever used is the ones that you don't trust the lock. So, you're just enjoying yourself. You're just having a great time on the toilet. And, you're scared that someone's going to punch that door down. that gives me such PTSD. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie to you. And
That
the ones as well, I agree with you in when you're using those portaloos, the floor gets so sticky. I know that's like a weird thing that, especially going when you're in a concert and it's really sticky and your feet stick to the floor. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. I could be in the fanciest shitter, but if that lock, if I don't trust that lock, that is the worst experience. It's anxiety-ridden experience. I will have nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
I get
squat.
you. I get you.
You gotta squat with your hand.
Yeah, squat and hold. Squat and hold. And I'm literally doing it on the camera to Jill now, so she can see what I basically do.
The old squat and hold. Oh, man.
Listeners, we are bringing it to you today.
That's right. Just the highest quality of content. So, Rebecca, as reported by Reuters, who is working on such a magnificent toilet, and what is it called? What is going on here?
Well, I would love to tell you. So, quote, Cho Jae-won, an urban and environmental engineering professor at the Ulsan National Institute, has designed an eco-friendly toilet connected to a laboratory that uses excrement to produce biogas and manure. The BV toilet, a portmanteau, thank you,
Ooh.
of the words be and vision, uses a vacuum pump to send feces into an underground tank, reducing water waste. End quote.
Magnificent. That's right, my friends. When people use this waterless toilet, their waste is sucked into a tank where helpful microorganisms break down that waste into, plot twist, methane gas. That's right, it's back. And methane gas is a hero in this story. And that's because a little goes a long way in a controlled environment. Harvesting the biogas methane rather than digging for it or fracking for it is the goal here, along with saving water. Cho told Reuters the average person defecates about 500 grams a day, or just over a pound on a good day. So I'm jealous.
Damn.
I know. Which means this one person on one day can create enough poop to capture 50 liters of methane gas. And to put that amount into perspective, this gas can generate 0.5 kilowatts of electricity, which can be used to drive a car just under a mile, or, quote, is enough to run one load of dishes in your dishwasher's energy saver mode, end quote, from Shoshana Wodinsky of Gizmodo. So it's pretty dope. It's just pretty cool, right? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but people be people. And saving the environment isn't the immediate reward, which motivates our modern brains. So Cho came up with a brilliant idea yet again to get people to use it. For you see, the BV, like you said, Rebecca, God damn it, Zoom. So Zoom just like, no, I don't want to update. So it just popped up. So for you see, the BV, like you said, Rebecca, is named after our friend, the bee. And why is that?
Well, I'm going to tell you, listeners. So from Gizmodo, quote, this eco-friendly toilet rewards the people who use it with a proprietary cryptocurrency called gul, meaning honey in Korean. Students earn 10 gul per day for their contributions to the toilet, and those coins can be turned in for books or cups of coffee at one of the cafes on campus, end quote. I mean, that just sounds fantastic, right?
Yeah, that's right. That brown for brown, you get
yeah,
you get poop and you get coffee for it. So
I mean, I just love free stuff. I don't know about you, Jill, right?
Oh,
there's nothing better than free stuff.
Oh my God, just smear it all over me. Yes.
What the shit?
The free stuff. God damn it. So my friends, marketing is everything. Don't think about the poop. Think about that sweet, sweet honey you'll get to buy stuff while our little toilet bee is working hard saving the planet. So did it work? Did this campaign make the BV a success? Well, 3 toilets were placed around the pavilion, and drum roll, please. Amazing. Quote, I have only ever thought that feces are dirty, but now it is a treasure of great value to me. Postgraduate student Hyo Hui Jin said to Reuters, I even think about feces during mealtimes to think about buying any book I want. End quote.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's what a testimonial. So this crypto is called honey in Korea, but the American press has dubbed it shitcoins, and that says a lot about our humor and thought process as a country. But at the end of the day, I totally think it would work here too. I mean, we fucking love a rewards point system. So Cho, if you're listening, which you're not, please get those BVs over here, stat. I've got 300 million Americans ready to be caffeinated. There you have it. One day.
One day. That I think it'd take off in both America and the UK, right? Or globally.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It would be a huge hit.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah. So thank you, Rebecca, for being our guest. You nailed it. You killed it. Please come back anytime.
I would love to visit you. Thank you for everything that you do. I listen to these podcasts all the time because you just tell me the weird and wonderful shit on wealth. That's interesting. And I love it. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for listening, rating, subscribing, telling your friends how useful their shit is, and tell them about how garbage fires, they're real now. They're literal garbage fires now. So there you go. And please stay interesting.